What in heaven's name are you talking about?
Daniel Day-Lewis is considered one of the greatest actors in the world, but in Hollywood, he's one of the strangest. Although he's notably successful and famous, no one hates the limelight more than him. Aside from the unbelievable stories many tell of the actor's wild acting methods, nobody knows what life this actor leads. Who knew the iconic Marilyn Monroe was almost his mother-in-law? His extreme take on acting has landed the actor a record-breaking 3 Oscar awards for Best Male Actor. But that is not the only way the actor's skills have affected his life. After falling into a deep depression, the critically acclaimed actor decided he was done with the emotional business of storytelling. Daniel Day-Lewis may be one of the most notable talents ever to exist, but very little is known about this strange actor, and it's not by mistake. Day-Lewis makes it a point to keep his private life out of the public's eye. Often compared to Marlon Brando, Day-Lewis is part of the reclusive actors club. Though his success is well known, his life is full of mystery. The only people who truly know the actor are his loving wife and children. With his family by his side, the actor is never truly alone. How can you be a recluse in a house full of children, even if you had the inclination to be, which I don't? Maybe because for the past decades, the extremely odd star has had himself tucked away in the mountains of a small Irish village. The actor has been peacefully living on a 50-acre farm with his family. Though his actual home is nowhere near that large, the actor bought the other 45 acres of surrounding land to have some privacy. And if that didn't send a clear message to his neighbors, steering clear of them any chance he gets may have. Day-Lewis is comfortable in his hermit-like lifestyle, and he won't adjust that for anyone, not even for another well-off resident, U2 singer Bono.
I don't eat this, I don't drink that, I don't...
If it's my life that you're describing, it's entirely up to you whether you choose to share it or not. If you don't wish to share that life, as apparently it's so disagreeable to you in every respect, why don't you just f*** off to back where you came from?
The truth is, I don't notice the pressure of celebrity around here because I'm allowed to live. I notice it elsewhere. When the actor can't find isolation outside of his home away in the mountains, he creates the environment himself. On one of his lesser-known films, The Ballad of Jack and Rose, Day-Lewis built himself a shack from scratch that he lived in for most of the filming, while his family was cozied up in a luxurious hotel close by. The eccentric actor wanted to, quote, retain a sense of isolation that he says the movie set did not have. But the actor could not stay there forever. When the work is done, it's to this place that I return to as a refuge, he spoke of his 50-acre hideout spot. The critically acclaimed actor only emerges from his safe haven for film roles that he deems worthy. In the past 20 years, the actor has only returned to shoot a handful of films, one of which landed him his second Oscar. Many would recall his performance in There Will Be Blood as a masterpiece, but one co-star does not. Kel O'Neill, the actor who was initially cast to play the role of Eli, was rumored to have quit the film because the leading man was, quote, crazy and intimidating.
The Lord sometimes challenges us, doesn't he, Eli?
Oh, yes, he does. Daniel, yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
The real Eli also shared his experience with the actor in the iconic end scene of the movie, which sees Day-Lewis's character throwing bowling balls at him. They start flying, and I realize he's getting into it. Then a ball bounces up and hits me in the leg, and I'm thinking, okay, those are heavy. This is getting serious. I'd better duck. The crew was also left stunned, as the committed actor was never meant to take things that far. Many stars have also left the set unhappy after working with Day-Lewis, including a Gangs of New York co-star who was infuriated that Daniel kept on calling him by his character's name, even when they bumped into one another at the gym. However, with this bad cloud over the actor's head, O'Neill came forward denying that Day-Lewis was why he left the film days before production began. He claimed that the rumors were an attempt to add to the majesty of Daniel Day-Lewis. I would be cautious now, especially when he's not going to do this anymore, about making him so mythical that there's no acknowledgement of the human being there. By not doing this anymore, O'Neill is referring to the acting business. Day-Lewis has threatened to leave the world of acting many times. He stuck to his word and never set foot on a stage again after running off the stage claiming that he saw his father's ghost. I had the strangest sensation I was talking to my father, he shared. What he said to me on that night seemed particularly hard to bear. And he hasn't looked back on the theater world since. However, when it comes to the film world, he's tried to quit several times, but would instead take a long hiatus. Still, every time a notable role came knocking on the actor's door, he would sacrifice his time alone for months on set. This explains why very few fans took the actor seriously when he announced that he was officially retiring from acting. This time, it was less of a decision and more of an epiphany. While on the set of his latest and, as it seems, last film, Phantom Thread, the actor was left with no choice but to put away his acting gloves and tend to his mental health. Before making the film, I didn't know I was going to stop acting, he shared. I do know that Paul and I laughed a lot before we made the movie, and then we stopped laughing because we were both overwhelmed by a sense of sadness. It was hard to live with, and still is. Though the actor has finally given in the towel on acting, he never said he was done with the film industry. The selected few who get to be invited over into his little sanctuary in the mountains were stunned to see the actor's obsessive love for shoemaking and woodwork. Years back, during his time away from acting, Day-Lewis made a rare appearance in filmmaking, but not on the big screen.
You know how I stayed alive this long? All these years? Fear. The spectacle of fearsome acts.
The actor joined the carpentry crew and helped build the set of The Private Lives of Pippa Lee, directed by his wife, Rebecca Miller, daughter of famous playwright and ex-husband of the ever-so-loved Marilyn Monroe. Day-Lewis is so fascinated by building things that, at 9 years old, his son had no idea his dad was a big-time movie star. He thought Day-Lewis was a construction worker. What may have added to this idea is probably that the actor insists on living as his film character for 2 years before taking on another film. To prepare for his role in The Last of the Mohicans, the actor spent days alone in the woods learning how to live off the land. He taught himself how to hunt, track, and skin animals, amongst other skills, and would apparently refuse to eat anything he had not killed himself. This is also where his carpentry skills may have been birthed. The actor built canoes with his bare hands and reckons he would be a good canoe salesman when he retires.
And everyone has his own approach. And his approach is to prepare very well and, to be really serious about what he does.
Does that mean we should be expecting a Daniel Day-Lewis canoe store to pop up anytime now? And if you thought that was the wildest thing he has done for a role, check out these moments when the star took acting to another level. 2 nights in jail. In preparation for an intense interrogation scene as a wrongly convicted felon for In the Name of the Father, Day-Lewis spent 2 days and nights in jail depriving himself of food and water. The self-endured torture did not earn the actor an Academy Award. It only scared his co-stars and the rest of the crew. But this is nothing new for the actor. Didn't wash. It's not known whether the actor did not actually wash his body, and he hasn't commented on it either. However, while making The Crucible, carpentry enthusiasts built his character a house on the film set replica where he lived for days with no running water and electricity. Stayed in a wheelchair. His first Oscar-winning performance in My Left Foot cost the actor 2 broken ribs. Trying his best to channel late Irish writer and painter Christy Brown, who could only move his left foot, Day-Lewis decided to remain in a wheelchair for the entire duration of the film's shooting. The filming crew had the responsibility of carrying the actor around the set. Day-Lewis was so committed that he'd fall out of the chair at times. This and the constant slouching resulted in him breaking 2 ribs. Learn new language. The Unbearable Lightness of Being may not be one of his notable films, for which the actor made a name for himself. However, Day-Lewis did not shy away from giving the performance his all. With the story set in Prague, the actor took acting to the next level when he went out of his way to learn Czech. Though the star didn't speak a word of the language in the film itself, Day-Lewis did it to try channeling the accent. And when he didn't reach his desired goal, it ate him up inside, feeling as though he had failed the story in his role. I think he went through a lot of torment with that character, the film's director shared. He was trying to become Czech. That's all we have for you today. Do you think Daniel Day-Lewis is done with acting for good? Or will he be back to collect his 4th Oscar in another iconic role? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, don't forget to tell your friends how cool we are.